Okay, so we're back with our shared reading, which was a unique life cycle. And just like before, I talked to you about how we should take a look at what we are going to answer and then go back and reread. So for this one, it says, number one, complete the cycle diagram on page 174 to tell about a periodical cicada's life cycle. Oops, I'm going the wrong way. I should go this way. And then answer questions 2 and 3. We'll do these two today. It says, how often do broods of periodical cicadas emerge? Every 500 years, every other year, once a year in May, every 13 or 17 years. And then the other question says, how do cicada nymphs underground count the passing years? They can tell how many years have passed based on the depths of their tunnels. They know when it's time to emerge based on how often male cicadas sing. They can tell when it's winter each year based on how tree sap changes. Or D, they can tell when it's summer each year based on how wet the soil is. So we're going to go back and reread now that we have this in our head and we've set our purpose to what we have to do. So I'm going to go back to the slide and we're going to reread that one. You can follow along with me. It says, a unique life cycle. Every 17 years in the woods of Western Connecticut, something strange happens. Thousands of small holes appear in the ground, and suddenly there are cicadas everywhere, crawling on trees in the ground. They are part of one brood or large group of cicadas that grow and emerge together. Cicadas are amazing insects. The most unusual ones are found in the eastern half of the United States. They are called periodical cicadas. They spend most of their lives underground. Then, depending on the species of the cicada, the cicadas emerge every 13 or 17 years. That was one of our questions. Remember, and I wouldn't have even known if I wouldn't have read the question first. The millions of cicadas in a brood come out of the ground together. The cicada life cycle begins when a female lays her eggs. She lays up to 500 eggs in the twigs of a tree. The eggs hatch into tiny wingless nymphs and then fall to the ground. Then the nymphs burrow deep into the ground. The nymphs grow slowly underground for years. Then they dig tunnels and crawl up to the surface. There they molt and become adults with wings. After years alone in the dark, a brood of periodical cicadas comes out of the ground at the same time, usually in May. How does the brood know when to come up? Scientists think the cicadas count the years. Oh, this is the other question, remember? So my brain thought, all right, I'm going to start paying attention. Scientists think the cicadas count the years by changes in the sap they drink from the roots. When trees lose their leaves in winter, their sap changes, and the cicadas know another year has passed. They also know that when the soil gets warm, it is spring. After 13 or 17 years, depending on the species, the cicadas all come out together, and that's mentioned again here and then over here, and that was one of our questions. Because so many cicadas appear at once, other animals can't eat them all, and this allows some cicadas to survive. Adults live for only a few weeks. The males gather in large groups and make a noise called a song to attract females. Together they can be louder than a freight train. The adult cicadas reproduce, the females lay more eggs, and the life cycle begins all over again. Okay, so the first thing we want to do, I already kind of know these because I really stuck that inside of my head, but let's do this first. It says complete the life cycle diagram on page 174. So I know the first thing that happens is the female lays as many as 500 eggs in the twigs of this tree. And I also know then the eggs hatch and then the nymphs fall to the ground. And then the nymphs burrow underground. They drink sap from the tree roots. After 13 or 17 years, the cicadas emerge or come out. They molt and turn into adults with wings. And the male cicadas sing to attract the females. The cicadas reproduce, and then all of this happens all over again. Over here it says how often do the broods of periodical cicadas emerge, and it was in there twice for the reading, but down here, right, for D. How do cicada nymphs underground count the passing years? And they talked about this also. They had said they can tell when it's winter based on how the sap changes. So that was definitely C. And I will cover a few more comprehension things in our next video. And have a great day. Keep reading, kids.